Okay, today we're going to do this fish scene. This is like what we're going for. And this part I'm going to show you how to draw your drawing in and paint the blue, the purple, and the hot pink section. But not that one down there, okay? So we'll begin. First going to start with our fish, okay? We're going to come about right here and draw our fish head. There'll be a little lip area. Come down, draw the body over to a fin in the back, back up, okay? Then we're going to do a little squiggly line up there for its top fin, and then we're going to come down just a little bit, maybe a finger space, okay? And then we're going to do this fin, and we're going to draw a kind of an arc down and do this other fin, the squiggly line, okay? Then let's do a little extra part on that fin, and then we're going to come up here and do the one that's up here, and one down there. And right where this ends up here, we're going to draw a little white line on our clownfish and our eye. And where this fin ends, we're going to come down right behind, pretend like we're going through, and go down to make our other white line. And that, other than this one down here, is all we have to draw for our fish. So over here we're going to draw, it's going to look sort of like a flower. So we're making kind of a half circle, really light, and then we're going to put some, almost like a flower petals, coming up like this. Okay, it's going to be like a plant. Then I'm going to erase these little in-between spaces because we don't really need them. That was just to help us to kind of draw our lines. And then we're going to do some tubey things with a rounded top. You can just sort of freeform these. We're going to have little holes, like straws, basically. Okay, and this is going to be kind of like a little rock. Okay, and then we might have some more of this kind of thing coming out over here. And you can make yours look kind of how you want. Okay, it looks sort of like it's a crab, but it's not a crab. And then we have some seaweed, so we need to draw like a little sandbar there, little pile of sand at the bottom of the ocean. And then we're going to draw our first line. We're going to stop where the fish is. We're going to pretend like we're drawing, and when we clear the fish, we're not going to draw through our fish. Okay, and then we're going to have some wiggly lines on either side. Okay, and we're going to do another one, middle line, and then another wiggly line. And if you can fit another one in yours the way you've done it, you can do it. But I think for this drawing, because I'm redoing the video from the first time that I did it because it got erased, the first part of the video. So that concludes our drawing, okay? So I have gouache. Here are my gouache, right here. These are paints called gouache, Gouache, and they are a lot like watercolors, only they are opaque. They are not see-through, if you can tell. They're pretty thick, a lot like acrylic. You can apply them like acrylic, or you can apply them like watercolor, or both in the same picture. So that's what we're going to start with. I'm going to grab, which I already had at the beginning of this video, when I did it the first time, my palettes. Oh, there they are. So we're going to get 2 palettes, just in case we need them. Okay, select these. And a bunch of our brushes, which we normally use. Flat brushes, round brushes. Okay, some water right here, and some paper toweling to dab our brushes on. I'm going to set one of these aside. Okay, we might use both of them in the process of this because I like to have a place to mix on. And we're going to put our drawing back in the middle. I'm probably going to put my palette right here. Let me check the camera to make sure you can see that really well. Yeah, you can see that pretty good. All right, so we're going to start off with this blue up here. We're going to take a little with a flat brush and just scoop a little out and put it in our palette. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to do the same thing and add a little white. Okay. Now we're going to take blue and white, and we're going to mix a couple colors. And I'm going to actually grab just a little bit more white because I don't think that's enough. We're going to make a light color at the top and add a little water in. Smooth it out a little bit. Okay, so we're going to paint the top surface, being careful not to hit our fish. We're going to come in here and just go around these little fishy fins. You can add a little water in there if you feel like it's too thick. Or if you're using acrylic, you know, you'll have to go a little slower because it doesn't apply quite as quickly. If you make a mistake, it's okay, because this paint, when it dries, you can paint over it, just like acrylic. I'm using watercolor paper today for this piece. I'm going to go kind of into our seaweed a little because it has a little bit of a translucent aspect at the edge, so we can go over it just a little bit. And then we're going to fill all this in. A little bit of our paint here. Come in here. Not to be super perfect, but do try to kind of keep it in good spaces. And we might use a little tiny brush for that part. Some things you can do pretty good with a flat brush. I'm going to come all the way down under this guy, down here. And our sand is probably going to go right in here. I shouldn't have gone all the way down with that, but that's okay. We can fix it. Get a little bit more paint. We're going to get our edges up here. Pretty soon I'm going to switch to a littler brush, I think. I just want to get the big spaces in. We're going to stop right there because our sand will probably come right down there. Okay, and then I'm going to actually get straight blue, and we're going to come from the sand down here, and we're going to kind of mix it up into the other blue. Because it's kind of different that the bottom of the ocean is darker than the top, because the top is closer to the sunlight. I'm going to put some water on my brush to kind of blend these colors a little bit. Maybe a little bit here by the fish, but not too much. To kind of look like it's swooping. And we're going to come in here in these cracks and kind of go around. Let's get our little brush here. Oh, maybe we don't need it. We might get by without it. Okay, so we got our water drawn. And we're sort of making some swoopy lines. And then I also had a little bit of white up here. And I sort of blended it out in kind of a circular way to create where the light, it looks like you're looking up at the sun shining in the water. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Just gonna do a little bit of blendy. And you can even go even darker in here if you want to make some more swoops. And then the last thing that we're going to do is take some really deep blue. We'll use a round brush this time. There's some really deep blue in the back of my palette here. Looks like this. Sort of like deep. And we're going to put it right at the bottom edge here and then sort of swoop it up. This is rather wet over here, so it's sort of applying like watercolor. Okay, and we're going to sort of smooth that edge just a little. Kind of let it be happy. And you can make some little wavy lines as you go. Maybe a little bit in here. A little bit in here. Okay, let's rinse our brush. And then we're going to hit some purple and white. So we've got a little white here. Let's take this white, put it over here with a little bit of purple. We need a little bit more purple than that. Let's try that and see. We're going to make these purple straws right here. We're going to take our round brush and we're just going to kind of use the top to make a circle. Bring them down like a big straw. And you can go right behind that, which is going to be hot pink. I'm putting a little water in here. You can cover up your little hole if you want to. We'll put it back in later. Okay, and then maybe we'll go ahead and do this. It's in the other video, we do it later, but it's going to be kind of similar. We're going to use a darker color. I'm just redoing this because we had an issue with it getting deleted. So I wanted to make sure you could see me draw it and do this blue part. So let's do this hot pink piece here. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Put the wrong color in my brush. Do you ever do that? Right here, this hot pink, a little water, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to do these little flower pieces. We don't want to get on our rock. Okay, so that is the first part of this video that was deleted. And I wanted to make sure you could see how to draw it, okay? And then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, there's one little quick step we need to do, and that is to put, we're going to use the end of our paintbrush and make this really, it's that purple that we used for this with a bunch of white in it. Can you see? And I mixed it. I'm using the end of my paintbrush, and I'm just going to put some little white polka dots on this anemone or whatever it is. Sort of like an animal that looks like a plant. You don't have to go too crazy, but just a few. It makes it kind of fun. You can do some of these too if you want. Like I say, there'll be a little mess up in the video because I actually in the other video didn't do this until later, so but it's okay. You can watch it twice. Okay? That's it.